Hi kids, welcome to the part 2 of our lesson for week 6. And for this time, we're going to discuss using facial expressions and gestures when speaking. So we are now at day 3 of our week 6 in quarter 1 for English 4. And for the most essential learning competency for this week, aside from the first one, so we are going to use appropriate nonverbal cues for clarity of text, purpose, and meaning. And kindly watch the song Mr. Happy in YouTube, and after that, please identify what are the emotions mentioned in the song. Okay, so why I am asking you about the emotions? Because when we are speaking, it is better if we use proper expressions. Doing so will make what we mean easier to understand. But before we go on to our lesson, let's unlock first some vocabulary words. Okay, for number 1, it means very eager. So it is very excited. For number 2, unexpected or unexpected event or happenings. So it is surprise. Number 3, a violent storm and wind that has a circular movement. So this is typhoon. And for number 4, a public and typically formal statement about a fact or occurrence. It is an announcement. So we have an activity, and I would like you to match this emoticon with a sentence that expresses the same meaning. Okay, so let's read. Jonathan was so excited that he couldn't stop talking about the movie he watched. So number 2, I am scared that my dog will die. Number 3, some children get bored at long conversations. Number 4, it makes me sad knowing that I can't go outside. And number 5, he must be very angry to do some things like that. So you can just go back to the emoticons or the emojis and then kindly draw if you can. So what kind of emotion fits these statements? Now let's talk about facial expressions. So facial expressions are configurations of different micromotor or small muscle. So movements in the face that can be used to infer a person's discrete emotional state. So when we talk about facial expression, so people can easily tell if we are sad, if we are angry, if we are happy, if we are excited, and if we are sad. So depending on what kind of emotion do you feel, by just looking at our face, right? We can't hide our emotion, especially if it is very evident in our face, no? Especially yung facial expression natin. You can say that you're happy, but your face doesn't look happy. So that is the facial expression that we are talking about. Okay, so when you are speaking, especially if you are reading a story, it is very important if you use facial expression, because in that way you can engage your viewers and they will be hooked in what story you are telling. So why facial expression and emotion important when reading or when you are speaking? Facial expressions and emotions are essential elements in storytelling, enriching the reader's experience by adding depth, realism, and emotional resonance to characters in their journeys. Is it as if you are really one of the characters in the story? So parang ikaw mismo yung nandoon sa kwento at nararanasan mo ng personal yung nararanasan ng character sa story. So yun yung importance why we use facial expression and emotion kapag nagbabasa tayo or when we speak. Kumbaga nadadala mo yung mga readers or yung listeners mo doon sa kinukwento mo. Kumbaga natatouch mo yung kanilang emotion as well. And with that, nagiging mas nahuhook sila or na-engage sila doon sa kinukwento mo. Another thing is that they allow us to connect with characters on a deeper level, understand their motivations, and feel the full impact of the narrative. So this time, I want you to read a story with proper facial expression. Alright? So, as one of my teacher advised me during the time that I'm studying, you need to read the words as it is. So, basahin mo yung salita kung ano sila. Kung malungkot ang salita, malungkot mo rin basahin. Kung masaya yung salita, masaya mo rin basahin. So, parang ganon. So, to add emotion at the same time, nadadala na rin yung facial expression mo. Okay, so let's try this one. Alice slept early on Sunday evening. She was excited to go to school the next day. She arrived at the school so early. She was surprised when nobody was in school. She didn't know that there was an announcement of class suspension due to a typhoon. So she went back home. On her way home, she saw the flooded road. She got scared of the thought that she can't go home. Her mother was too worried when Alice didn't arrive on time. She immediately took an umbrella and a raincoat for her. Alice saw her mother waiting for her. This made her feel relaxed. Okay, so going back, what were the emotions mentioned in the story? So I think there was a lot. Okay, she was very happy, she was very excited, and at the same time, she felt sad knowing that there was no school for that day. And at the same time, she was scared when she saw a flooded road. So she was scared that she can't even go home. And of course, her mother was worried. It was also was given in the story. And then upon seeing her mom waiting for her, so she feel relaxed. So we can feel the emotions of the story while reading it with facial expression, at the same time giving full emotion to the story while you are reading it. So it is just a very short story, but then given the emotions needed in the story, it feels like you are reading a fantasy story, or kumbaga mas napapaganda kahit na maikli lang yung kwento, mas nagiging buhay yung kwento while you are reading it when you put emotions and facial expressions into it. So this time, draw the different facial expressions. So box the facial expression of the underlined noun used in the sentences below. So we don't have the underlined noun, but then we can really feel the emotion just by reading the sentence. So Anna is excited to open her gift. So what would be the emotion of Anna in that statement or in that sentence? Okay, for number 2, the dog barks at the snake on tree angrily. Okay, so that the dog is very angry. So what emotion or what emoticon or emoji would fit sentence 2? Number 3, Lucy was so nervous before her job interview. So what do you think Lucy felt in that moment? Number 4, don't be shy, Carla. You have a good voice. So what do you think Carla felt during that time? Number 5, Tom was scared to say that he broke the glasses. So what do you think is the expression of Tom during the time that he broke the glasses? Okay, so let's have day 4. And for this day, you're going to learn more about using facial expressions and gestures when speaking. So we're going to focus on hand gestures for this day. Alright, so kindly observe the picture and what can you see? So we can see here a boy and a girl. Perhaps they are singing or they are reciting and they are moving their hands. Okay. So what is the boy and the girl doing? So they are perhaps reciting, they are singing, okay, they are trying to tell a story. Okay, and can you stand and follow what is on the picture? So they are just raising their hands, perhaps raising or waving. So you can do that also. Okay, so hand gestures are movements that you make with your hands to express emotions or convey additional information. So especially when you are trying to do public speaking, and of course when you are also telling a story, having hand gestures, moving your hands upwards, sidewards, pointing them to the audience could also make a difference while you are telling a story or when you are trying to tell something or to prove something. Okay, let's read the paragraph below and use proper facial expressions and hand gestures. Okay, but before that, we can see here some hand gestures. Okay, so it's an okay, thumbs up. So when okay, it means that it is very good. Thumbs up, you approve. Thumbs up, you disapprove. We have here a peace sign and a pointing finger. Perhaps your teacher or someone is pointing something for you to or for you to notice something. So these are also some examples of different hand gestures. So we have a pinch, fist, point, grab, high five, pray, then a peace sign, then clap, handshake, thumbs up, open palm, back of the palm, hang loose, rock and roll, and then power. So this was taken in a Facebook page or account of Your Voice. Okay, and I highlighted the link below. Alright, so we'd like to give credit on that one. Okay, next one. So hand gestures are powerful tools that enhance communication in numerous ways, from amplifying meaning and engaging the audience to improving memory and expressing emotions. By incorporating appropriate hand gestures into our communication, we can become more effective and engaging communicators, leaving a lasting impression on our listeners. So that's how important hand gestures is. So imagine the combination of facial expression, then putting emotion while reading a story, and then adding hand gestures. Of course, that's a perfect combo, especially if you are trying to or you are in a contest and trying to win. So the combination of facial expression, giving and putting emotion while you are reciting, and then adding up hand gestures will make you win in a storytelling competition or in a public speaking competition. So remember that when you talk in front of people, so make sure to use hand gestures and facial expressions. Other than hand gestures, there are also bodily movements that may suggest additional meaning. So using them can also make speaking more expressive. Okay, so why do we need to do hand gestures when we speak? So it's like giving a point, okay, or it's expressing yourself, or kumbaga ginagamit mo yan para to convey a message, to send a powerful message to them, or to strengthen your point or your idea. So now we have your other gesture. So we have nodding. So when do we use nodding? So if you approve something, you also nod. Arms crossed. So when do we use that? Foot stomping. Head turning sideways. So head turning sideways. Perhaps you disapprove. Thumbs up, of course, you approve of something. Index finger pointing to heads, or you're trying to think. Mouth pouting, eyes rolling, and shoulders dropping, head held up. So those are some of the bodily movements or body gestures that you can also use, and we often use. Okay, for your activity, make a short paragraph about yourself and use hand gestures while reading it. So we have here the rubrics for you. 5 points, great use of gestures and facial expressions. 4 points, contain some gestures and facial expressions. 3 points, needed more gestures and facial expressions. 2 points, contain little to no gestures and facial expressions. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for being with me for this whole week. And I hope you enjoyed our lesson for today and for this week. And I hope you can include, no? And you can, kumbaga, you can try to use, okay, and incorporate the emotions, facial expressions, and hand and body gestures when you are reading a story. So definitely it will make you a great storyteller and a public speaker. So thank you so much. I hope you learned something from our lesson for this week. So this is Teacher Isa. See you next week. Bye.